The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes. Now in our 10th year of broadcasting each week, we continue to talk story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Base Yard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we're going to share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today, we're going to start off the show talking with a couple of folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters and a special event that they've got coming up. Every time I do that introduction about changing lives, changing communities, and celebrating or creating miracles of hope, I keep thinking, okay, how does that apply directly to the agency that's on today? And I think actually all three of those do for
Yes.
Big Brothers Big Sisters, yeah?
Yep.
Because we're talking about youth. What ages?
6 to 16.
6 to 16 who don't have a role model. For whatever reason, and it could be guys or girls.
Yep.
There's no one in the family that they can kind of learn from. And that's where you guys step in.
Yep.
And that's why volunteers are so important to you.
Yes, definitely.
Because they're the role models.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one-on-one.
Yes.
This isn't a group activity.
No. That's the unique part of our program.
Yeah, I like that. That's and that's exactly why I think it's so neat. Now, when you're recruiting, I'm going to go right straight into it,
Yeah.
and I'm going to let you introduce your incoming board chair here,
Okay.
and we'll get her on in just a minute. But that's what I think is so unique about this is that as you're getting volunteers, you're screening, you're doing all the usual things that have to be done to make sure that it's a safe environment you're bringing the littles into.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, when I say bigs and littles, you get the connotation there, right? It's the big brothers, big sisters, and the littles being the youth, the 6 to 16-year-olds. A safe environment for the littles, and also that there's something there that you see that the big can offer.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we usually pair them with someone that has an interest that the child is also interested in, or maybe wants to become, or has experienced something that they want to eventually do.
Right. And this is not like a career kind of thing. This could be a hobby. This could be something that they just enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that match is, sometimes it just takes one phase of their life
Yep.
to make this match work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it goes on from there.
Yep.
And I think the other thing that's important for everybody to remember, because as we do this show, we're talking about something that you all out there can get involved in, whether it's you or some relative or friend that you think, hey, this is what they need in their life. They need to work with a younger person that's looking for their future.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the perfect, situation. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money.
Not at all. Yep.
Matter of fact, they should spend less.
Yes. Yep, it's just about the quality time that they're able to share with the child. And most times our volunteers say they get just as much out of the relationship as the child gets out of it too.
Win-win.
Yes.
That's the best kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're looking for someone. If I were to say, hey, I want to volunteer, what's the criteria? What am I putting myself out there for? What am I responsible for?
Yep. So we have an application that the volunteer would start off with filling out, and then we do sort of an introduction with our case manager to figure out and make sure the program is going to be fit for them. And then we do an extensive interview, which is like an hour and a half long, just to get to know the background of the volunteer, what they're looking for in the relationship, any preferences they have. And then from there, we do run a background check on them. It's layered, so there's many different ones we run, and we call references from employers, personal references. And then from there, if all goes well, then we start looking for a match for that volunteer in the area that they reside in, so it makes it convenient for pickup and drop off. And then
location's important. Yeah, you
very
don't want to have to
important.
come from Lahaina to Kahului to be a big sister.
Yeah, and then I think a big component of what we do too is providing the ongoing support. So once you are matched, you're not on your own. Good luck, wish you the best. But we do have a case manager there calling in once a month, and also available anytime that they need, really. But we do definitely have a scheduled time once a month to talk in with the volunteer, the child, and the parent to make sure everything's going as they expected, and just provide that support for them.
Terrific. So you're not alone. Once you get approved to be a big, there's help along the way.
Yes.
Because I don't think anybody's really ready to just jump in.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. By the way, the voice you're listening to is Courtney Akawa, who is the Maui
Regional Director.
There you go, Maui Regional Director for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Nobody has the same old titles like we used to
Right.
have. What happened to Executive Director and CEO and
I know.
But it's because Big Brothers Big Sisters is a statewide
Yes.
organization, and you're one branch.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think it's terrific from the standpoint now. I think one of the times that we've talked before, you said you've had some people who've been with you all for many years, and maybe have worked with more than one little, because they found it so satisfying to them, and then you see results.
Yep.
Do you have littles who grow up to become bigs?
Not in the time that I've been there.
Well, you've only been there, what, 4
like
years?
5 years.
5
yeah.
years.
So a little difficult. But I've worked with some teens that have aged out of the program. We actually have one she's going to turn 21 at the end of the year. So we were going to graduate them from our program, but we know they won't be strangers, and it's likely, I think, she will become a big sister one day.
Yeah.
But that's sort of what we're trying to set up a lot of these kids for, is to come back and then give back.
Right. As they finish school and start their adult life, if you will, come back and make sure this is a part of it,
Yes.
because they know the value.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've brought someone with you today. Would you like to introduce Latasha?
Yeah, so we have Latasha Baldwin here, and she is our incoming board president, and she also is would you call yourself a CEO? She's
Sure, we can go with that.
yeah, with Little Details event planner. That's her company, and she also does motivational speaking and things like that as well. But overall, just amazing individual, and we're so happy she's part of our organization.
Terrific. Hi, Latasha.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. So, how long have you been on the board? Let's start with that.
3 years.
Oh,
and
okay.
I hit the ground running.
Gotcha.
So just started out as a board member and just found my niche and just went after it. So
I got you.
yeah.
Okay, so obviously with your background, this event coming up is a
Yeah.
biggie, right?
Yes.
Is this the first time you've had one of this size?
No, this is our second.
Your second one,
annual,
okay.
Yes.
So between the two of you, tell us all about the Perfect Pairings Maui.
So I can speak to the participation side of things. So I think that's really one of the key factors. It's an amazing event. And historically, when you look at Big Brother, Big Sister, they have their kind of go-to fundraisers, i.e., Bowl for Kids' Sake. And so what we wanted to do as a board is we wanted to come up with some other options that were contemporary, that were, in the now, but then also, how can we still tie in that Big Brother, Big Sister perspective? And so this is a very unique event. It's for 21 and older, and it's called Perfect Pairings. And so we brought in a fabulous timeshare resort property, and Brandon, who is our current board president, he spearheads that. And we just lend our support. And from a participation standpoint, it's just a unique event that you would not expect to come to for Big Brother, Big Sister. And so you go into like the resort feel. It's very relaxed. We have, silent auction items. We've got amazing food, and it's paired with either, adult beverages, whether that's beer or wine and spirits. And it's just an amazing opportunity to do something a little different, but still with the premise of promoting Big Brother, Big Sister. And so there's live entertainment. It's just a unique Ohana kind of feel, and we love it because it's something different. It adds a little spice to what we have traditionally done at Big Brother, Big Sister, but it's also just a unique experience. You get to meet, local connoisseurs in terms of, either wine or spirits and food, and it's just a great activity, fundraiser, and it's a great time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Courtney's just sitting there shaking her head. Yes.
Yeah.
I can take
exactly.
over. So I have to backtrack.
No. That's good. So, so last year was your first one.
Yes.
And what did you do last year? I can't remember.
What did we do last year?
Your event.
It was
the same thing.
Oh, it's the same
event.
thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, so it was well received.
Yes.
Very well received. And
Gotcha.
we had a lot of support from the community that really stepped up to the plate. All of the board members participated and were there. We had Dennis, who is our overall arching president, if you will, in terms of going back to those old school kind of titles. But he came over from Oahu, and he was actually the first little. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was interesting for the participants to hear his perspective and, how, Big Brother, Big Sister has evolved from his perspective. So it was very unique experience. It's a great event. This is our second year, and we're looking for this to be one of our, big main events. And like I said, we got a lot of community involvement, and we expect the same for this year. So.
Cool. So what kind of entertainment are we looking at?
I'm not sure who the actual musician is because the hotel takes care of it.
Oh, they
for
do? Oh,
us.
really?
They do that,
Yeah.
So I don't remember I think his name is. I have it on Instagram, but I can get back to you on that. But if it's the same one, the musician, and I'll look it up on my Instagram feed, he is amazing. And so does live entertainment, acoustic guitar, great, tremendous voice, does a lot of variety in terms of the music and genres of music. Just fun-loving personality. I'm actually going to look it up on my Instagram feed. But I think he's the same one that's going to be there. And if he is, it's going to be a guaranteed entertainment.
Good time.
Yes, great time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's kind of exciting because we often think that that's the hardest part is finding the right entertainment for an event like this. But it's interesting. That's part of the package then when you work with the hotel?
Yes.
They
Particularly for this.
Yeah. No, it's not a hotel. It's
like a hotel, but timeshare.
Timeshare facility. That's the what's Malcolm Mackay at the Westin Nanea Ocean Villas.
Yes.
Well, that's a long title. Malcolm Mackay, that's both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the name of the restaurant that we'll be in.
Because
they have multiple restaurants on their campus.
I see.
So.
Okay. So the Malcolm Mackay restaurant at the Westin Nanea Ocean Villas. And that's out beyond Kanapali. We're talking Kapalua side.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now will you have some of your big sisters, big brothers, little sisters, little brothers there?
Probably, since it's 21 and over,
right.
Unfortunately none of our littles will be present,
right.
But we will have some of our bigs there, and their spouses usually attend as well.
Okay. So there's other events where you can highlight what's happening between bigs and littles.
Yes.
And this isn't one of them.
No.
I got you.
But-
This is for adults only.
It is.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Will you be showing photos or
Yeah,
films?
we'll
or?
have up photos all over on the high boys and the tables, and it's just kind of a mingling event. So you're not, a lot of times people think these events are you're sitting down and there's this whole program, but really you kind of just get to go around and get the food, taste it, and get more if you really
Okay,
like
so
it.
that's the perfect pairings. You get
Yes.
food and drink to go with it, and you just work your way around the room.
Yep.
Yes.
Aha, with different chefs.
Different chefs, not necessarily different chefs, so let me backtrack. Different types of pairings. So
Okay.
everything that goes with whatever craft beer that they have on tap for that night. And then in terms of the wines, things that are specific to that. We also had a dessert table last year, which I know we'll do the same in terms of also pairing that with wine and a spirit. And then a separate table for our tables for spirits in terms of what pairs with them. So it's a great learning experience as
Right.
well, to figure out, in terms of wines, looking at what goes with white, what goes with red, and, different sweet wines for desserts and stuff. So
Sure.
it's an education, but it's super fun to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. On that note, we've got to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out what's going on in their world. And today we've started the show talking with Latasha and Courtney from the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Maui, talking about their big fundraiser coming up here Saturday, September 21st. That's next week.
Yep. 10 days.
Whoa, hello. Yeah. I can't believe it can be the middle of September already.
Time flies.
Oh, that's awful.
I know. Seems like September just came here.
And once September hits, the next thing you know, it's Christmas.
I know.
And once Christmas hits, the next thing you know, it's spring. No, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Let's stop before we get too far ahead. Then we're talking birthdays and oh my gosh, let's not do that. So, you've got now your summer activities are all wrapped up because school started, and you've got what coming up for now after school.
Yeah, we have our after school programs. We're in our heavy enrollment phase of that, and so we're interviewing all of our high school mentors that are paired with elementary youth, and we're at 4 different sites: Kahalui Elementary, Wailuku Elementary, Pukalani, and Princess Nahienena. So we're recruiting, and if anybody has a child in those schools that would like to enroll them, we're taking applications, and they can contact us through our website, which is bbbshawaii.org, and just hit the Maui tab. But yeah, and then our mentor center is also starting up. We're projected to start in the beginning of October. So we're also, we usually work with the Halemakana youth, and then also high school mentors, and we actually are looking for adult mentors as well for our middle school youth. So if anyone out there has time on a Thursday afternoon, it would be a school year commitment once a week for an hour. That's what we're looking for that program.
What kind of a background do they have to have or to
Um,
do that?
No specific background,
Okay.
just want to hang out with a middle schooler, which I know not.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Middle school now is what, 7 through
6 to
to
8th
eighth
grade.
grade.
6 to 8? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So,
And I'm sure everybody's just waiting for the chance to do that.
yeah, I mean, those are,
They're kind of fun.
It is fun. It is
It's a
fun.
fun age.
Yeah.
It is very fun age.
Yeah, they're kind of
They're in between.
Yeah, they're middle. Hello,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what it's
Yeah,
that's
they're
what it's
not
called.
quite sure which way they want to go, and they still have that sweetness to them. So yeah.
Aha, gotcha.
And that's why we just feel it's such a critical age to make sure we serve. And our hopes are that they have a great experience with us and then come back to be high school mentors in our other program.
Gotcha.
So it just kind of does this full circle.
So now, if a student wants to get involved in this after school activity, do they have to be a little brother or sister, or does this kind of work into that?
Um,
I mean, are they're just students from those schools,
yes.
but do they have to be part of the Big Brother Big Sister program to do it?
No,
Okay.
not at all. Yeah.
But they could function. They could transition from being part of the after school
Mm-hmm.
to becoming a
Amen.
little brother or sister to somebody.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Or a big brother or big
Or a
sister.
big yeah, okay.
Yeah.
right. Depending on which group they're in.
Yeah. Really, you could be, it kind of can cross over. So
Yeah.
if you're a little, but you also want to be a big, because you're in high school
Yeah.
and want to mentor a younger student, you're able to do that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah. So, and we're not looking for any particular skills, just an interest in helping
Yes.
and being there for somebody.
Yeah, being able to give quality time.
Right. You found the name of the
I
entertainer.
did. So Ben DeLeon Music, he was there last year. He's amazing. He's got his great followers. So if Ben's coming back, shout out to Ben. He's amazing. Amazing. So
That's worth the trip to the
oh
other
my
side.
gosh, it's worth that and more. And then on top of that, the food and the spirits, come on, it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Great evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a great evening.
Okay, we're talking about Saturday, September 21st, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Malcolm Mackay Restaurant at the Westin Nanea Ocean Villas.
Yes, beautiful location.
With Chef Ikaika Manaka. Just have to throw that out there too.
There
Give him
you-
a shout out.
There you go. Hey, without him, you don't have an event.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the spirits and so forth, those are all local?
All local from Maui Brewing.
Maui Brewing?
Yes,
And
okay.
Ohana
Pau Maui vodka.
Okay. Wow. Cool.
Yes.
Oh, boy. I just wish it was a little closer.
Yeah. It's worth the drive.
That's
It's
what,
worth it.
That's what everybody says, though,
Yeah,
right?
it's worth
That's-
it.
Yeah.
You could just stay at the hotel.
Just stay overnight.
Do a mini
Yeah.
staycation
Do
at home.
a staycation, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was Friday night, it would be worthwhile because then you could
Mhm.
stay Saturday and Sunday and really make it. But that's okay.
Well, they could still stay Friday too.
Mhm.
Yeah, come before.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. You
Make
know-
a whole weekend out of it.
Yeah, such a deal.
Yes.
So, Latasha's the incoming board chair. Big plans?
You know, right now, I do have some plans, but right now I just want to come and just really continue to do what I've always done, and that is support Courtney and the team. I'm really focused on, and have been since I've been there, is just really making sure that they've got the resources and the support that they need. So making sure that we do all those little things to make sure that they know that we've got their back, and when they need us, we're ready for them. And so definitely have some ideas that I need to talk to Courtney about, but I'm never short on ideas, that's for sure. But really just want to make sure that I am committed in doing the best job that I can and make sure I'm fully invested in this. And I think she knows that I am, and I'm ready for it. So.
Well, with 3 years of experience on the board, I think you probably both know each other pretty well.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
No.
she knows she can call me for anything. She does.
Yeah.
She does.
That's a great relationship, and all nonprofit directors or regional
Directors.
or whatever everybody's
Those
called.
titles.
It's always great to know who's sitting on the other side of that wall that separates the boardroom from the facility rooms. And it looks to me like you got a good relationship going. So
Great.
keep it up, and good luck with the
Thank you.
big event coming up here. Perfect pairings. Sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
thanks for joining
Yeah,
us,
thanks.
and everybody out there. Phone number they can call for more information.
808-442-7891, or they can go to our website, bbbshawaii.org/Maui events.
BBBS, Big Brothers Big Sisters, is what that stands for. Hawaii.org/Maui events. Very cool.
Yes.
Any last thoughts before we pass on to the next
Just
group?
come and support us. You will have an amazing time. I promise.
Oh, that's wow.
It's a big
promise.
statement, and we can deliver.
You can
we
deliver.
can
You
deliver.
will back
We,
that up.
not me.
We.
We can deliver.
I gotcha. Very good. Thank you much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And everybody out there, please support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Amazing organization doing amazing things, and it takes a lot of volunteers to be big brothers or big sisters to support the youth that need role models. And as we shift gears here at the halfway point, we have a couple of I want to say characters.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't, because what you do is very important and very serious. But I keep looking at what you do, and I'm just amazed. Something I saw the other day that jumped out at me as I was reading a story about something. It was somebody who had gone to Job Corps, and now were in this super high-powered position. And before they went to Job Corps, they never even thought about something like that, let alone found themselves to be qualified to do it. And I know that's pretty vague, but it's a success story. And I'm sitting there going, and I don't even know if it was a Job Corps here or not. They just said they went to a Job Corps center out of frustration.
Was it George Foreman?
I don't think so.
No. Everybody.
Really? Is he the typical example?
Yeah, it's a great story. So George Foreman was actually, famous Job Corps graduate as well too, and that's actually where he got his start and learned how to box. Was a boxing program at his Job Corps center that he was participating in.
Interesting.
Yeah, before the grill and everything.
I was going to say, did he take the kitchen classes and learn about that? So that's how he got into the grilling?
Also sidelined in culinary arts too as a secondary trade. But
in case boxing didn't work out.
Yeah, but Susie, as you mentioned, there are as we think about all the students that have come through the Job Corps program, really, even over the last 10 years that I've been part of Job Corps, it's just been amazing to see and to hear about some of their success stories and where they end up, how they're supporting their families, how they're working and supporting local businesses, how they've become leaders in their field. It's really, really encouraging. And I think as we look back and we think, wow, we've aged so much in this program, one of those reasons as being staff members administrating it is because we're just looking at student successes every week, every month, every 6 months, and then every year. And time really, really does move so quickly with that. But it's based on student success and student achievement that is really driving this program.
And the voice that you're listening to is Marshall Norman, who's what's your title?
Site director.
Site director for the Maui campus, right?
Correct, yes.
Of Hawaii Job Corps. And he's brought with him Jim Cusick, who
Yeah. How you doing, Susie?
I'm doing good, who is the admissions counselor and always has some good stories to tell us.
Yeah, well, success stories. I've just heard of a couple great placements out of our Tongue Point, Oregon Advanced Training Center, where they can learn to become boat captains of 200-ton vessels. So
Oh, wow.
those guys can bring in some pretty good bacon once
Yeah.
they start running a tugboat or another type of ship. And my Waimanalo contact, we have a campus in Waimanalo as well, but it was said that one of the students is buying a house on the North Shore of Oahu. So
Oh my
that
gosh.
was like, wow, he must be doing pretty well.
From Waimanalo to the North Shore. Wow, that's pretty
But yeah,
exciting.
there are some great opportunities. We just sent Justice was on one of the radio programs a couple weeks ago, and he's becoming an overhead linesman in Texas. So that was one of his goals,
and he's there now.
He's there and getting the training. He'll be set up for basically a pre-apprenticeship to go and come back and work a ton of hours fixing the lines for us here. So
I just saw a listing of the top 50 paying jobs in Hawaii. I think it was in Pacific Business News or something, one of the business publications. And that the job that he's looking for when he finishes, the linesman, is on that top 50.
good. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of him as I see that, and I go, whoa, and it gave the kind of the range of what kind of money they make.
Sure. I mean, we should talk about the alignment of the training that we have available here on Maui. Is that all of the training is designed to set somebody up for success in a good career and where the jobs are, to give them that sense of independence and freedom to contribute to the communities and their families. So we have business occupations. It's more of a office administrative trade that they learn to kind of be an executive assistant type of role, or oftentimes go on to college from that trade. And then culinary arts, there's a load of jobs available to us in Hawaii with all the tourist destinations and hotels and restaurants that they all employ. And then facilities maintenance and Home Builders Institute is our kind of revamped building trade, where students get the basics of carpentry skills, plumbing skills, electrical, siding and roofing. They'll learn how to hang a window and a door. So there's a lot of opportunities that that are available to them in that field, because we get a ton of weather and a ton of tourist traffic.
Right.
So we're constantly maintaining buildings. And then our customer service oriented trade, which is retail sales, hospitality, and lodging, to prepare all the students for the activity centers and companies that people take advantage of here, locals and tourists, as well as all the hotels and the positions that are available there.
Right. Now, do you, I know there's internships and things like that you offer to the students once they hit that point in their education.
About 60-70% through the program, towards completion, they have the opportunity to research and go for what we call is work-based learning, where it's basically an internship where they go and they check in and and have to go to a real job and keep real hours, and and it basically gives them great experience into these companies, and it can be a good inroad into a real job after
Right.
their internship is over.
And or it can be a good opportunity for them to really understand what it is they're studying and know that they really want to do this.
It does lay
there's
on a
nothing-
sense of
yeah.
practicality. I think the alternate learning path that Job Corps is that it highlights the practicality of what we learn. It's not just consistent math and reading skills. It's learning why you're learning
Right.
what you're learning, and you can put it into a use in a hands-on training or hands-on job
Right.
situation.
There's nothing worse than training or learning for a couple of years on something, and then you go out and get the job and you go, what am I thinking? I don't want to do this.
Yeah, with Job Corps, what we've done is we actually put a lot of time and energy in making sure that students have a really good understanding of what their skills are, where their strengths lie, and then how to really apply those strengths and skills in a chosen career pathway. We do a lot of competency-based testing. We do a lot of skills-based testing, and also personality testing, just so we can ensure that these students are aligned with job training matches and career pathways that really, really meet their interests. And sometimes, you'll find a job that, hey, I thought I was really, really interested in it, and I went and I did it, and it wasn't for me. Hey, that's okay. That's part of, learning, and it's part of growing up and developing. But I think also sometimes when we really look back at what our core competencies are, really what kind of some of those intrinsic strengths that we have, and really what we want to do, it really, really does provide us a pretty good understanding of the areas that we'd probably be pretty passionate about. Sometimes, hey, I thought I love cooking. I thought I wanted to be a cook as a profession. Hey, that wasn't necessarily for me, but I love it, just to continue to maintain it as a hobby.
Right.
But those are all the questions that we're really engaging with our students. And we're really trying to make sure that, hey, that passion that you have, how can we relate it into an employable job field? That's one really good thing about some of the advanced training programs that we have to offer to students after they complete a basic training program at the Maui campus, is we can send them on to advanced training programs on the U.S. mainland.
And let's talk about that some more when we come back from break.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, now in our 10th year of broadcasting the show where we talk about all the activities that happen in our nonprofit world. And today in the second half of the show, we're talking with the folks from the Hawaii Job Corps Center in Maui, talking with Marshall Norman, site director, and Jim Cusick, the administration's counselor. I think that the thing that I like so much about Job Corps is it gets right to the heart of it. There's not 4 years of futzing around with things you don't care about. Obviously, if you come in without your high school diploma, the first thing you got to do is get your GED.
Yeah, so that we really want to make sure that when students are in our program and they're graduating from our program, they have a world full of yes open to them. Yes, I want to hire you. Yes, I want you to be accepted into college. Yes, let's get into this apprenticeship. Yeah, we don't want a student to exit our program and then feel like they have a world full of no's because maybe they're lacking their GED or they don't have the appropriate reading and math skills that are required for the position. So yeah, all students coming into the program, if they do not have a high school diploma, we will provide them with high school diploma training, whether in partnership with McKinley Community School for Adults, working on either GED or HiSET track and working towards that adult school diploma. Or we also use an online program on our campus as well, that is Penn Foster Online High School Diploma Program. And we'll match the students up with a high school track that's really going to meet their needs. But as we work with a lot of students that, they've just gotten back into school, we always encourage all of our students, be committed to high school, graduate high school, because I think Job Corps really, really does serve, the students the best when they're coming out, really that pre-college, pre-employment level. I got my high school diploma. I just don't know what's next. Am I going on to college? Am I going on to career training? Am I going just directly into a job? Well, that's really where Job Corps kind of has a good niche, and we can say, hey, let us come along, join Job Corps, let us come alongside and partner with you and really, really help you find the avenue that you're going to be most successful in. Before we went into the break, I was talking about the advanced training programs, right. And this is one of those things that we start off and we really try to set students, to dream bigger when they're in this program. Hey, where are you going to be at the end of your Job Corps training? I know you just got here, but yeah, we want to start thinking with the end in mind. We want you to be goal-oriented. A lot of those opportunities that we're seeing some students take advantage of is that these advanced training programs are located at Job Corps centers on the U.S. mainland. And when students get really passionate about something, I'm sure we can find an advanced training program that really meets their needs. At the Job Corps Center in Oneonta, New York, they have a FAA drone pilot advanced training program.
Oh my gosh.
I know. You can learn how to, be an FAA certified drone pilot. How many kids coming in or going out of high school would be like, well, that would be really, really fascinating. And we also know with some of the licensing, the regulations that they're putting on drones, that type of certification, hey, it's going to be employable. It's going to add, and it's exciting. Treasure Island Job Corps program right now in their advanced career training program, they offer a certificate through City College of San Francisco that allows students to do a 1-year certificate training program in game design or cybersecurity. Other things that students coming out there are like, wow, I really like playing video games. How do I make this into an applicable career pathway? Hey, have you thought about cybersecurity? Because we know that's a really, really
Right.
in-demand program. And even if students wanted to come to Job Corps and stay here locally, we do have articulation agreements with Maui College set up so students can come into Job Corps and then enroll at the university and then take their office technology classes there or building construction technology at UHMC too, in addition to their Job Corps training. So there's a lot of menus for the students, and what our goal is to not make those choices for the students, but really, really help guide them so they can make an appropriate choice, and that's really going to lead them on their own path to success.
That's so exciting because for so many kids, even though in today's world you think everybody knows all these things are going on and are possibilities, but I think there's still, as far as a career path for some of them, they're limiting themselves unnecessarily.
Well, yeah, we just try to highlight the road for them to get on and stay on the road to success. So,
and all roads lead to all kinds of things.
sure, there's a ton of there. I mean, I'm looking at a list here. You can see all these. This is not for radio, more of a podcast, but we have. I'm looking at a list of probably 150 advanced certifications that they can achieve in advanced training. Which, again, Marshall brought up that the more training and the more knowledge that we're able to stack, especially in this development stage for somebody who's 16 to 24 years old, it just makes you more employable, and it gives you the experience to deal with obstacles that might, arise in your first or second job.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's incredible, and as you're talking about these training centers and areas, this is all handed to them basically. I mean, they have to achieve certain, marks to get there, but it's not like, okay, now here's what we've done. The next step's going to cost you $20,000.
Yeah. So I always say that. Individuals, nothing is provided for free,
Right.
especially in the nonprofit world. As we know, there's always a cost associated to it. So there is a huge financial cost. The program is funded by the U.S. Department of Labor. It's at no financial cost to the students that qualify for the program. However, it is a cost of commitment and a cost of time for that student, because we just don't want them to be a recipient of that aid and that funds. We want them to be a participant. In order to be a participant, you have to engage. You have to be committed. You have to be able to understand your success and the goals that you want from this program. And if they're a participant in the program, they'll do really, really well. If they just want it, I'll just be a recipient. I don't have anything better to do. I'll go to Job Corps. It's not the program's not designed to work with that. It's designed to work with that student that's
Right.
committed. Hey, I want to see change in my life, and this is how we're going to do it. It's not that we don't have different shortcomings, that our young adults experience all the time coming into our program, because they do. They're youth, they're adolescents, and but we're designed to really, really empower them with the skills that they need on both the workplace side and then also the social side, to ensure that those skills are mitigated so they can be as successful as they can possibly be.
And
Right.
it's designed to level the playing field for these individuals that qualify for Job Corps, right? So, I mean, I always encourage the students to really engage and take everything that we have to offer, because the value pack is huge. I mean, free education. I'm the only guy in town that's pretty much paying them a bi-weekly stipend to finish their diploma work. And then they get payment, a small amount, but they have no cost for the time that they're at Job Corps. we will pay for their transportation to advanced training, their living expenses on the mainland. We can matriculate them into college, right, where some of the trades that we have, business administration, culinary arts, facilities maintenance, and retail, they can matriculate into University of Hawaii Maui College with college credits. Some will award 12 credits, which is
Wow.
one semester's worth of work that's already knocked out and paid for and accomplished as you finish Job Corps basic training. So on top of college tuition, that we could, if somebody is interested in going that route and achieving their associate's degree, we would love to pay for that for those individuals that have that in their goal set. So I always encourage people, please take advantage of what Job Corps has to offer. It's going to pay you
Right.
great returns in the long run.
The dividends are unbelievable.
The time spent at Job Corps can be up to 24 months, and as a 16, 17-year-old, even 19-year-old, that might seem like a mountain of time, but really it's just pennies in the jar of life. You're going to love yourself when you have all this accomplishment and all these doors are flying open for you when you finish the program and you've achieved some of your initial goals.
Right.
So that's what I always encourage them to do. It's their program. There's no one, really force feeding them. It's really for them to take advantage of and, pick up the ball and run with it and get in the end zone. I want to see everybody score a touchdown.
There you go. Do you, when you find somebody who's kind of lackluster about the whole thing, I'm here, okay, what are you going to teach me? What do you work with them and trying to get them motivated, or do you kind of weed people out as you see that it's not going to be a productive partnership?
Well, that's both kind of an admissions questions and then a programmatic side. So Jim can handle the admissions side. I'll talk about it. Because we get young adults into the program. Hey, I'm graduated high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I guess I'll come to Job Corps. Usually within that time in what we call it's a 2 to 3 week orientation time called career preparation period. And that's where we really go through the interest and the career assessments. Start trying to have that student really intrinsically look, hey, what am I interested in? What am I passionate about? And then we'll put that student also during that time on a trade visit. So they'll be able to visit each one of the different trade. Our building construction technology trade, office administration, culinary arts, hospitality, retail sales, and be able to understand, hey, you know what, this is kind of my area of focus. And I would say 95% of the time, students are hooked within that 2 weeks. Hey, if I can get a student in here in 2 weeks, I can pretty much, guarantee that they're going to be hooked and they're going to find that passion. Some students, they might, and they just say, hey, you know what, it's not for me. Okay. I do always wish that students coming up to our campus, even if when they enroll, that they will always leave our campus as a graduate. And if they don't leave it as a graduate, they'll always think back and reflect, wow, Job Corps is a program that really cared about me, really wanted me to be successful, and really wanted, me to make some positive change with my life. And if I can guarantee that with all of our students are graduates, and even maybe some of the students that don't graduate, I think we'd be, pretty happy with the end product. But going back to what I said, programmatically, we'll help students understand that passion, and most of them really do rise to that occasion.
Do you run into very many who they think that what they'd like to be isn't a possibility really for them?
I think I'm going to lose my mind if I ever have a student come up and say, hey, I want to be an influencer. No offense to those influencers out there that are making millions of dollars, but we really want students to go on career pathways that we know are employable, that's also in demand by our local employers, especially even here in Maui County. We have employers coming to us all the time saying, hey, I'm really looking for this type of worker with this type of skill set. Job Corps, how can you help me out? We did talk about work-based learning, and that's actually one way that we can really assist those employers in trying to find that skills match. Hey, I had a student here that might be really good for the position that you're trying to describe. Let's set up a work-based learning program, try them out for 6 weeks. If you think that student's going to be a fit, consider hiring them. If you feel like, hey, you know what, wasn't a fit, but it was a really, really good opportunity to do that internship. Hey, let's continue that internship process, and maybe eventually down the road you'll find a fit. So that's really what our need is to really meet employer needs, and we're constantly adjusting our program to meet employer needs. And I think that's really being a good steward of what the Department of Labor and WIOA really calls us out to do, is to work with our local workforce and our local employers and try to meet their specific labor demands. And that's what we can do with our Job Corps program.
Yeah, but I'm on the front lines when I hear their initial goals, and some of these kids are fairly young and they don't know. They have an idea and that's it, right? They don't know how to make the steps to get there. So I encourage them to tell me your wildest goal. Maybe you want to be an ESPN broadcaster, or you want to be.
I think we had one of those on the show,
right? And or a nutritionist, right? And I don't have a nutritionist specific trade, but I do have culinary arts where you learn food prep and calorie intake that can translate over into a possible degree at U of H, right? Mm-hmm. So it's my job to kind of help them and guide them into what the opportunities are at Job Corps as well as afterwards. But dream big, half of it is just getting the accomplishments done and building the confidence for these young people, right?
Yeah.
Some of them come from struggled backgrounds, and it's a great place to just get clear-headed and set goals. And the transformation from somebody who maybe, doesn't recognize any of their prior achievements, and then they really see, hey, I have accomplished my diploma, I have accomplished my trade, I am going to advanced training, or I did get into college, or I'm getting into the military, or I did really well at my work-based learning internship. Those are all life changers for a person that is going through Job Corps, because it adds confidence and potential leadership and more employability skill that gives them the tools to succeed and have a great life.
So to anyone out there who's listening, have you heard something that you might be able to pass on to a grandchild, a son, a daughter, a friend, a neighbor, and have them call Jim at
808-579-6506.
And he will explain it all to them again.
And we can invite you guys up to a tour at our Makawao campus every Thursday at 10 a.m. It's usually about an hour and a half or 2-hour tour, and we offer free lunch from our cafeteria afterwards.
And that in itself is worth going up.
Yeah, the food is really good.
Very good. Hey, Marshall. Hey, Jim, thank you for joining us today. And every time I talk to you, I'm just that much more excited about what you do and because so many kids today that I hear from other agency directors who work with these kids, it's like they don't know what's out there that they could be. Mm-hmm. And that's, and I remember back when I thought, I had to be a teacher. Like my sister, I probably would have said the same thing.
It's okay if you don't know what you want to be either.
Right.
We're all trying to figure it out on a daily, but this gives you some great options.
Yeah, I got you.
And we can turn that off.
Oh, we've overstayed our welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Susie.
Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Please give them a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. This has been Maui Nonprofit Notes. Actually, I want to go back to say one more thing. Pacific Source has been our sponsor from day one, and we thank them for their ongoing support. To you, our listeners, we thank you for the response that our agencies get when they've been on our show. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director, Lokai Pacific, and your host. Hey, have a great week, everyone. Aloha.